Hello, I'm Dr. Josh, and I'm not a doctor. Now the patient's on the slab and my scalpel's getting lonely. Let's operate, shall we?
The following video features images some may consider graphic or disturbing. It is not intended for young audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Star Wars. You may have heard of it. A gargantuan franchise with 4 great movies, 3 mediocre ones, 1 terrible movie, and 1 infected colonoscopy. That's not even mentioning the TV shows, spin-off movies, video games, expanded universe novels, comic books, theme park rides, and an endless barrage of merchandise ranging from home goods to plastic dolls. As someone who loves Star Wars, there is far too much Star Wars. But let's rewind, shall we? As a child, my favorite of the original trilogy was Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker is finally a Jedi, Leia leads a daring rescue attempt, and teddy bears overpower armored space Nazis with guns. Don't get me wrong, I actually didn't hate the Ewoks, I kinda liked them, but their big action scene in the finale always bothered me. It has so many terrible attempts at comedy. Misguided cutesy shots.
Get him off of that!
And scenes of teddy bears banging rocks on armored stormtroopers, and somehow that works in overpowering them. It's always just bugged me. So I've recut the Ewoks' defense of Endor to refocus the attack on the Ewok onslaught, as well as doing everything possible to establish them as a credible threat to stormtroopers. I'll show you my re-edit with some spicy VFX of my own mixed in, and then I'll go through some of these changed shots. Without further ado, Return of the Jedi featuring truly lethal Ewoks.
Get down here. She's wounded.
Alright, let's have a look at some of those changes. I added a little bit of blood to the arrow that hits the stormtrooper on the right. Nothing big yet, just a minor escalation. Here I wanted to show some helmet damage. In the original film, the Ewoks are just pounding away at his helmet and they don't cause a single scratch, which just makes both the Ewoks and the stormtroopers look more functionally incompetent than ever before. Okay, now we're ramping it up. The Space Nazi takes a giant rock to the elbow, so I've added some armor damage and blood spray. He needed a reason to fall down dramatically, so I gave it to him. And here is where we're starting to have fun. In my version, the Ewoks are throwing some weights with razor wire between them. The stormtroopers have joints in their armor so they can move better, so those joint spaces become prime targets for our little terror teddies. I did want to show the Ewok attacks getting increasingly more competent as the battle wears on, so they're learning over the course of the skirmish. At this point, they're using heavier weapons on stormtrooper helmets and cracking them open like eggs. This shot was already hilariously violent. I just needed to add some additional spray to really sell it. This Ewok is battering the driver's helmet with his paws. To make the man appear slightly less pathetic in his reaction, I've added some scratches and damage to his dome from hypothetical retractable Ewok claws. Now this one's kind of interesting. I've just hand-painted a few frames to smooth the transition from speeder to explosion. It was just a really hard cut in the original version. I did some hand animation on the trooper's reaction to being clotheslined and consequential fall to the ground to try and give it a bit more motion and whiplash than the stunt dummy in the original was able to provide. And to cap it all off, I've added a bit of mild blood spray to this shot to indicate that some of the thrown rocks are indeed finding their targets. And there we are. The Ewoks are lethal, and the Ewoks are victorious. I've approached Return of the Jedi in much the same way J.J. Abrams approaches a popular film franchise, with intent to cause as much damage as possible. Diagnosis.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, give us a like. If you didn't, don't. If you want to see some of the episodes we've made in the past, check out the playlist tab on our YouTube channel page.
It's also all organized on our website.
On that website, use the contact form to sign up for our free electronic monthly magazine.
It's packed with behind-the-scenes breakdowns, channel data, polls, and even discounts on our boutique.